teaching tip. Today's tip is part 2 in a series of 10 tips for teaching students with ADD and ADHD that I'll be sharing with you over the next several weeks. So part 2 is covering taking frequent breaks. Taking frequent breaks is important, not just for students with ADD and ADHD, just students in general. You're teaching multiple subjects and they're learning so much in one day. It's really difficult for the brain to remember that and apply that knowledge if it's not given time to relax, to reboot, to recover from the previous learning. So, some of the different ways to take a break involve relaxing. That's one of them. Well, one way to relax is to do yoga. You don't have to be a yoga expert. There's tons of videos and Pinterest posts that have different yoga poses that you can do for calming and relaxing purposes. Then there are calming videos. When I read this, the first thing that came to mind was Bob Ross. Watching Bob Ross paint in his really calming voice. I could watch him forever. And then calming videos, animation shorts. There are some really interesting animation shorts. No conversation, no dialogue. It's just put to music, and to watch these animation movies, and some of them are up 2 minutes long, up to 10 minutes long, and it's just enough time for your brain to relax and enjoy that. So check out some animation shorts. Preview them before, but there are tons of really wonderful age-appropriate animation shorts. Coloring's another thing. My son hated coloring, so that wasn't a brain break we use. For me, whenever we homeschool, we would take a brain break. I loved coloring, so I would do that. Deep breathing. There are different deep breathing techniques that you can Google and you can find that help relax you and help give your brain that break it needs. All right, another type of brain break is a sensory brain break. So just really changing things up. And one of the sensory brain breaks that we would do is we would go outside. So even just sitting there and closing our eyes and listening to all the different things that we could hear. Taking a deep breath and smelling all the smells. We could smell when a neighbor was cooking outdoors. We can smell when somebody was mowing mowing grass, and you can smell that fresh cut grass. And so just those sensory things that we would take in, feeling the sun on our face. So going outside is a really good brain break. Another thing is a scavenger hunt. I like this one because if we were going somewhere, I'm like, okay, we're going to have a scavenger hunt. Let's find mommy's keys, or let's find mommy's glasses. But of course, the scavenger hunt can also be, all right, we're going to go search for, different things. A spoon in your room. Let's see if we can find a spoon in your room, or a spoon somewhere where it doesn't belong. And so really what you're doing is cleaning up the house or picking up in a kind of fun way, but you're making it a scavenger hunt. All right, scavenger hunt, let's go find all the dirty dishes in the house that aren't in the kitchen that need to be put in the kitchen in the sink. So you can do scavenger hunts, you can actually make them fun. Another one is skill building breaks. So I say that this is getting more bang for your buck. You're taking a brain break, but you're also building a skill. And that could be with like puzzles, doing tangrams, looking at making shapes out of these different triangles, or doing a puzzle, a traditional puzzle together. You can also do some story starters. So you do a verbal, so I'll say, once upon a time, and I stop. My son has to say, there was a boy, he stops. And I then finish. And a girl, he stops, who went walking through the forest. He stops. Now it's my turn. So we'll do a little story back and forth like that. And so it's just kind of fun to do those oral storytelling story starters. And then another one is some brain teasers. So I found some brain teasers online. So he would look forward to doing this as well. So you can do a brain teaser that is just math, language arts. They have all kinds of different ones. So here's one of them. And I thought, I'm going to do this one because it has something to do with my dog's name. So it says, Billy's mother had 5 children. The first was named Lele. The second was named Lily. The third was named Lai. The fourth was named Lo. What was the fifth child named? So the reason I like this, I'm like, oh, I have a dog named Lulu. And that's the answer. So I thought, I wasn't thinking. It's not Lulu. I want you to figure it out. All right, so then a math riddle. A clerk at the butcher shop is, ready, 6 feet tall, and he wears size 10 shoes. The question, what does he weigh? So you're going to have to figure that out. It's a math riddle. Well, and you'll figure out that it's not so much a math riddle, it's a language riddle that sounds like it's a math riddle. So we would do these riddles, and really what that did for him was it made him think a little bit more closely about the importance of words and looking at reading something carefully, reading it more than once. All right, so that's called a skill building break. So even though it's not work, and even though it is fun, or even though it kind of seems like work, it's still fun, and it gives your brain a break from a specific course that you're doing, or a specific subject or lesson. All right. So sensory, skill building, relaxing, physical. That's another type of break that you can do, a physical break. So we would go for a walk around the block by ourselves, or we would go for a short bike ride. We would take the dog. Remember I said about doing some of these things and getting more bang for your buck, and so we would take the dog for a walk sometimes. We would go work in the garden for a little bit. We would pull weeds, or like lately, rake leaves. So that's kind of a physical break. And then another one is just fun games, a game break. So Connect Four, that's a simple game. It can be really quick. And so we would take a brain break by playing a game. We might play a quick card game, or we might play Connect Four, tic-tac-toe, something like that. And so really what that does is it just gives your mind a break, lets you rest a little bit, and then get back onto that next subject. So you're prepared for learning, and your student that may have learning difficulties, who may just be a typical kid or have ADD or ADHD, helping them reset and prepare for the next lesson. All right, so next week I am going to cover considering using a reward system with students that you're having difficulty keeping on task or staying focused. So until next week, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy this beautiful spring weather.